Hi everyone, it's Nicole. I haven't posted for a couple days. I've been really busy, but I did want to post a quick update before I had to run out this morning. Just to let you know on my progress. Please ignore the little Pippi Longsock braids I have going on. I was at the lake yesterday. I haven't washed my hair in 2 days, so it's kind of a mess. But anyway, let's get started. I am not as far along as I was hoping to be at this point, but like I said, this is kind of a busy week. It's my daughter's birthday week. We have a lot going on. Tuesday I was gone almost all day and most of the night. I barely got anything read. I did not get anything read during the day. All I did read was some of Blood Rights, because that's my book to read after sundown. And I read 3 chapters, I think. I'm on chapter 16 now. So I'm only 120 pages in, and this book is over 360. So I definitely wanted to get more of this read. I have dog hair on my face. I usually do read a lot at night, but Tuesday night I was super tired, so I couldn't read a lot. I went to bed early. Last night I actually was reading other stuff, which I'll get to. So I did not read any of this, but I am really enjoying it. That's not the problem. I really like his books. It's kind of a little bit of a different premise for this one. I don't know if you haven't read the series. He's actually on a case for a kind of friend of his named Thomas, who is a white court vampire. And if you have not read these books, there's several different courts of vampires. They've mentioned 4. I believe that there are 7 total. The Jade ones they've barely said anything about, or maybe just said the name. White Court are kind of like the psychic vampires that they suck life pretty much out of you. The Red Court are undead, kind of bloodsuckers. And then the Black Court, I think, are the strongest, most dangerous. They're the ones that are most true to the typical, you know, Bram Stoker's Dracula type vampire. But he's met Thomas in another book, and they have some kind of a weird beneficial relationship to each other. So he's helping him out, getting paid for it, but he's still helping him out to help a friend of his who has a hex placed on him, he believes. He thought that somebody was trying to kill him because people around him were dying. It actually takes place mostly on the set of an adult film. The guy is an adult film producer. And then it turns out that possibly he is not the intended victim, but they are trying to kill off certain people, certain women around him. So he's trying to figure that out. It's really good. It's a page turner. There's lots of action. I just was so tired the other night. I could not get much read on that. And then I have read, I was hoping to be done with this book. It's 130 pages, 135 pages. But I am having the hardest time getting and staying interested in this book. It's, like I said, I had not read one of her books in a long time, but I remember it being full of action and adventure and dragons, of course, which I love. But I had gotten 60 or 70 pages before you actually see even a dragon. This is not a story about dragons, or really the dragon riders, kind of in a roundabout way. It is about a plague that had taken over Pern and was killing a lot of people, killing dragons. But the first half of the book almost is this young woman, Narilka, I think I'm saying that right. She's part of a noble family, and when this plague takes over and starts killing people, her parents and many of her sisters go off to the main town where this started. she wants to go, and she is told she's not allowed to go. Unfortunately, a bunch of her family ends up dying, and she decides she wants to help out, which sounds like it could be really interesting. But the first half of the book is just her talking mostly to people, talking about what's going on, hearing secondhand stories. Oh, this happened over here, and these people died here, and you know, the dragons are committing suicide when their riders are dying. And it was just, it was like hearing a third-hand story from somebody who didn't have all the details, and it was kind of boring. It finally is getting a little interesting. She's actually decided to leave her home, go off and actually help these people. So it's getting better. I am a little more than halfway through the book, but yeah, I'm like 2/3 of the way through the book. I have about 30 pages left. I really just want to get this done. I do have to run out this morning, and when I come back, I'm going to sit down and read this and just finish it and have it done. And then I was reading that yesterday. I think I said that we went to the lake yesterday, so I was reading that before we left and a little bit after we came home. And then I took a book to the lake. I don't spend a whole lot of time in the water. My kids like to play in the water a lot. So I thought I'd get some reading done there, which I was able to until a big storm came by and we had to leave, which I'll get to actually in a second. But I was hoping to bring this book. I really wanted to start reading it. And I actually had to take this out of my TBR pile though, because I had mentioned on Facebook what I was reading. I'm in a reading group, and I was talking about BookTube-A-Thon and what I was reading, and people were like, oh, those are great books, and you're gonna like this, and you're gonna like this. And you know, one person actually told me, oh, this is a great book, this is a great series. I was like, oh, it's a series. I didn't even know it was a series. I guess I didn't look very closely at it when I picked it up. She's like, yeah, and it's not the first one though. So I was like, I can't read a series out of order. I cannot do that. Even if it's a series where the books are kind of standalone with a little bit of backstory, I cannot do that. And I believe this book has a different narrator than the first book, but still I have to read them in order. So what I did is I took that off my list. If I get to it, I'll get to it, but I'm not that ambitious. And I ran out to the library. They had the first book, so I grabbed it. It's called Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Pfeffer. And I started reading this yesterday just because I couldn't read the Harry Dresden book only at night, and I was not getting into the other book, you know, the Anne McCaffrey, so I really wanted to read something else to get me more interested in reading. I was afraid if I only kept reading the one book that I was going to get bored and just stop reading altogether. So I picked this up, and I have not been able to put it down. I read the first 4 chapters, which is about 60 pages. We spent a few hours at the lake, so in and out of the water I was reading. And like I said, a big storm came by. It was really beautiful, and then all of a sudden we had these dark clouds roll in, and it got really windy, and the birds were being pushed against the wind and flying really low, and it was kind of crazy. We had some waves crashing up. I had to get the kids out of the water because I was like, it is going to start storming here real soon. And if you've read this book, I was at the part of the book where well, the premise of the story, at least from what I know, is it's just a regular girl, regular family. It's told by her point of view, first person. And she's a 16-year-old girl in high school. It's written as kind of a journal format, which I really like. Kind of reminds me of, you know, Anne Frank, and reading that more personal account. It makes it feel more real, like you're actually sneakily reading somebody's journal, and you probably shouldn't be, or somebody who's passed on and it's been years, and you're getting a glimpse into someone else's life, into a different time period. But it's about an asteroid that is supposed to hit the moon, and everybody's real excited. You know, it happens all the time. That's why there are craters on the moon. And it was supposed to be no big deal, and everybody's out watching it. And when it happens, there was a miscalculation on how it was going to hit. So it actually hit the moon and knocked it out of orbit, pushed it towards Earth, like quite a bit towards Earth. And if you know anything about the moon, you know how it affects water and the tides in the ocean and things like that. And so it just set the whole world, the weather and everything just got crazy. I don't know how else to put it. So I'm reading about how they're watching the news after this happened, and they're talking about tidal waves and tsunamis and taking out whole cities and islands. And I'm sitting here reading, watching the skies getting dark and the waves come up off the lake, and I was like, this is a little freaky, but kind of cool. So anyway, I had to stop in the middle of a chapter, unfortunately, because it started getting really bad. I had to grab my kids, and we went home. As soon as we got home, though, I picked it right up and finished that chapter, and then made dinner, and then I started reading some more, and it got to be sundown, and I kept on reading a little bit more because it was that good. I definitely want to get back into this today. I made myself put it down and read some more of the Anne McCaffrey book. I read about 30 pages of that so I could get closer to the end. And then my daughter, first I found some old home videos and we started watching those because, like I said, yesterday was actually my daughter's birthday. We went to the lake just to have fun and relax. She had a party last weekend and we're doing a family thing this weekend, but I wanted to do a little something. Anyway, we started watching home videos. I got distracted by that. And then my daughter wanted to watch something. I've gotten her into Xena recently, and we are on the very last season, and she's very excited to see how it ends. So we watched a couple episodes of that. So I did not get any more reading done last night. I was too tired. It was after midnight and we had to get up early. So that is where I'm at right now. I only have one little thing to do this morning and hopefully get a lot more reading done this afternoon because I have nothing else planned for the rest of the day. But that is my progress for the last 2 days, and I should probably cut this short because we gotta leave soon and this video is gonna be probably kind of long. So I'm going to try to get to the challenge video later today, and then I might actually post another update tonight before I go to bed for today. So possibly 3 videos in one day. I hope everybody else is having fun and getting far in their reading. And if you want to let me know what you're reading or how far you've gotten, any problems you've had, any changes you've had to do, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll respond to you. And I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.